Hey, what's up? I'm Chef Aaron Fish, and this is Fish Food, where we make tasty, approachable snacks. And today, we're making a holiday favorite, sweet potato casserole with marshmallows. And I'm gonna put some of this candied bacon, sriracha, in the marshmallow. Step one, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get some water, half a cup of water, and some gelatin. Measurements are in the recipe down below. We're gonna let that hang out for a second. I'm gonna take this whisk off and just give it a little stir. It's all right. It's gonna bloom, which means it's gonna get like nice and tight. If you've ever made Jell-O before, it's just kind of the first step. So we're gonna let that roll, and then we're gonna go ahead and get some stuff heating up in here. So I got another half cup water. Now I'm gonna put this in here because we're more or less sort of making a caramel. Not really, but we're cooking sugar down, and the water is gonna help cook the sugar evenly and help it dissolve so that it just doesn't burn on the bottom of the pan. So first thing, water's in there. Second thing, pour the sugar. I'm trying to get it just in the center there. You don't want it to get up on the edges because that's gonna burn with the heat and everything, right? Okay, and then we got some corn syrup. And if you're not a fan, I understand. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, all that stuff. But you gotta use this to make the marshmallow. You kind of add a SOL if you want to try to do anything else. So we got our sugar, our corn syrup, our water in there. I got a pinch of salt thrown in there, and that's literally just a pinch. I use kosher, sea salt works too. And then we're gonna put a tablespoon of this sriracha blend in here. And we're gonna go throw this on the heat. I've got this over high heat, rolling. I threw a lid on it. Now what that's gonna do is as the water starts to try to evaporate, the condensation is gonna hit the lid, drip down the sides. That's gonna help just in case we splash any of the corn syrup or the sugar on the outside. We don't wanna deal with all that burnt mess if it's not very good. One other thing you're gonna need, so the next step when we take the lid off, we're gonna reduce the heat a little bit, and we need to take it to a specific temperature, 240 degrees. We don't wanna take it past that. Otherwise it starts to caramelize, which we're sort of making a caramel, not really. I highly recommend the Chef Alarm from ThermoWorks. It's about 60 bucks. It comes, you can use it like in your smoker, you can use it in the oven. This thing's metal, it's beautiful. You can set like a high temp alarm. So if you are roasting, some chicken, and you can set it to 160 degrees so that you don't overcook it. You know it's ready to go, turkey, whatever. If this is, still out of your budget, grab a candy thermometer at the grocery store. I think they're like 5 bucks. Alrighty, so I've got my thermometer here sticking into the sugar water. It's reducing. We're at 224 degrees, 225. I said 240. We got about 15 degrees to go. We're gonna keep an eye on it, and then we're gonna pull it off, and we're gonna start making our marshmallows. All right, so this is at 240 degrees. You can see our gelatin soaked up all the water. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on to low. Just kind of moving around a little bit. Just make sure. And then you're gonna start slowly pouring this in, and you wanna be real careful. You don't wanna pour this directly on the gelatin. Just down the wall. Of the mixer. Turn it up a little bit and keep pouring it in. See all that steam coming out. Now, the reason you don't want this whipping too hot or too fast is hot sugar burns. It's bad. It'll f you up. So, just pour real slow. If you feel comfortable adjusting the speed like I've been, go ahead and do it. If you don't, keep it on low until you get it nice and mixed up, and then you want to kick it up to high, which is what we're going to do as soon as I get all this in here. And then we're just going to start whipping it. It'll take about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, so it's been about 12 minutes. You can see it's whipping, and you can see how it's kind of clinging in the center of the whisk. We're almost there. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla, so I'm going to pour it right in. It's gonna go crazy for a second, like it just did. Let that just whip in. We'll go for about 2 more minutes and check it. I think it's almost there. All right, so marshmallow's done whipping. You can see I just checked it. Look at this little peak on my finger. All right. Good choice, right? So that's about where we want it. It's delicious. So I prepared a pan spray. I've got some cornstarch and powdered sugar, about 50-50. of each, so equal parts. And we'll sprinkle some in there, and then you're just basically gonna kind of work it around. Smack it a little bit. Easier if I rotate so you can see what I'm doing. Probably gonna spill a little bit, just like me. If you're not making a mess, then what are you doing, right? Put it back in there, and we're gonna use that for 2 more times. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna coat the top of the marshmallow when we put it in here with this, and then we're gonna reserve whatever we have left over, and we're gonna use that when we cut them and toss them, which we won't cut them today. It takes about 4 or 5 hours for them to cure, and I'm also gonna use the fluff kind of for a dish today. So let's, we'll get it in this pan. I'm gonna get some sweet potatoes heating up in the oven, and we're gonna make a deconstructed casserole. All right, so scooping the marshmallow in here, see how thick that is. And the reason you wanna let it sit out and cure is that if you try to, obviously look how sticky it is, you're not gonna be able to cut anything like this. You know, it'll dry out a little bit, and it'll be a little easier to handle. A little tip that I picked up from some baker friends of mine is that, and I put a little bit on this spatula. You can use pan spray or rub some butter or shortening or something on whatever utensil you're using, and it makes the cleanup a lot easier, and it makes it so that you can kind of scoop it. It just doesn't, I mean, look how sticky that is. I put a little bit on here, but I probably could put a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna try to spread it out the best we can. So if that doesn't work, a good technique also is, you know, carefully, because this is glass, so maybe like lay like a towel down or something, and just give it like a couple little taps. And we don't want to break it. All right, so then we've got our cornstarch mixture. We're just gonna put it on top. And if you need to make some more, you can. If you don't have enough left over for our, after we cut them and toss them. You could also go with a thinner pan if you want to make them thinner, but I like giant marshmallows. This would be really good, I think, in a hot chocolate. You can almost do kind of a, you know, Asian riff on a Mexican hot chocolate, more or less, with the spicy marshmallow. But yeah, so there we go. Our marshmallows over here are gonna sit and cure for the next few hours, but we're gonna use the uncured marshmallow to make a fun little riff on sweet potato casserole. So I went ahead and took some on here, smeared it on the plate. It's very sticky, so you have to be real careful when you do that, but very delicious. I have some sweet potatoes that I peeled, tossed with some salt and pepper, roasted them, 350, about 15 minutes, and then flip another 10 or 15 minutes. And you just want to cook until, I mean, they're soft. You can push through them like that. So let's go ahead and plate some of this up. One more. Okay, and then I've got some cara oranges. This is kind of a take on, you know, when you have your mashed sweet potato casserole, you've got your marshmallow. Usually there's some citrus in the mash. Some toasted pumpkin seeds. I like to use these on like everything. And just for a little fun, hazelnuts. Now, you can totally use pecans if you want to stay a little more traditional, or walnuts. You could candy them. Or you could just make your normal mash and use those marshmallows as the topper for it. That'd be really great. And then just to finish it, I have a little bit of barrel-aged maple syrup. I'm just gonna put a little bit on top, just to give it a nice sweet glaze. Oh my God, this looks great. All right, so we've got our sweet potato casserole deconstructed. It looks beautiful. I'm almost don't want to get into this because this is a sexy plate. So we're gonna get right up in there. Oh man, let's grab some of this, some of that, some of that. Let's get it. Oh, dude, this is making a mess. There we go. Always, right? Oh yeah, I mean, sweet potatoes, delicious as always, one of my favorite potatoes ever. Marshmallow has a nice, unexpected heat to it. The Sriracha really plays well with that. The hazelnuts added like another fun twist instead of the pecans, but you have that crunch from hazelnuts, the pepitas, the orange adds like a wonderful fresh element, and that maple just ties it all together. And that, my friends, delicious fish food.